Good evening, 5 o'clock on a Sunday. Ask me anything. This is Ryan Fernando. A few questions today. The first one I asked myself last Sunday. Ryan, why can I get a holiday on Sunday and not do AMA? But jokes apart, here are some of the questions that you did send in on my stories. Nutrition for a 12-year-old girl swimmer. Somebody else asked, Kritika asked, Sir, please let me know if anyone is suffering from bad gut health, how to improve gut health, how to increase appetite level of younger athletes. Hey doctor, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a nutritionist. If you're residing out of India, how can we purchase your book? My team will reach out to you. You can get the e-copy. There are so many questions. Sir, my liver grade 2 fatty liver. So I'm going to start taking in questions today. And hi everyone, good evening from wherever you're joining me in the world. It's a lovely day here in Bangalore. I'm sitting in my small terrace. I got orchards. If you ever want to gift me anything, gift me orchards. Orchards? No, orchids. Sorry. You've got to forgive me. It's Sunday. My brain doesn't work on Sunday. My Nimbu Pani with alkaline water, ice inside, and cheers to everyone. And I also have a cup of black tea. So I'm going to be alternating between the two of these. I do black tea because it has small quantities of N-acetylcysteine, also known as NAC, which can actually open up your ears. So please hit out your questions for me. I'm going to take the first question of today. Foods for decreasing ESR level. So ESR is erythrocyte sedimentation rate. Basically, it's a type of blood cell in your body, and it is indicative of inflammation. So basically, inflammation is something that will go very high. Normally, we want your ESR to be under 19 or 20. And if it's in single digits, that's really good. So when a client has high ESR and they come for a nutrition plan, I'm like, there's some jagada happening in your body. Kuch to kuch ho raha hai. So hi Prasad Sensei, how are you? Thanks for joining in today. So ESR to lower, what we do is you can do a food intolerance test, because I feel जो भी खाने का चीज होता है, something in your food is going to do jagada, is going to do fighting, is going to do inflammation in your body. Now, I genuinely believe there are foods out there that can reduce inflammation, provided you're not allergic to it. One of the key foods to reduce inflammation is turmeric. Turmeric contains curcumin, and curcumin is known to reduce the inflammatory molecules, the interleukins and the interleukin 6 or whatever that is there, the inflammatory molecules. In addition to this, omega-3 also reduces ESR level. You want to be looking for any physical damage inside of your body or any kidney stones. You want to be looking at any gut disorder, gut problems, and then that would lower your ESR rate. Neil has come in and asked in for 2 tips for eye health. Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but every part of the human body keeps changing through your entire life. It's called the cell turnover rate, meaning my face skin will turn over every 6 to 15 days. So I'll get new skins coming up. My lung cells will change 10% every year. So at the end of a decade, I've got a brand new set of lungs. My muscle cells will remain with me for 14 years. My fat cells 8 years. But get this, the eyes remain with you after the age of 3 lifelong. So treat your eyes really well. So 2 tips for eye health. Research has shown that stem cell production for eyes is very good with green tea, which contains EGCG, which is the only molecule which can cross the eye barrier. So epigallocatechin is the molecule, number 1. Number 2, your pistachios have that pink skin on it. The pink skin will have certain antioxidants in it, which are also able to protect the eye barrier. So I am now, when I'm peeling my pistachios, I'm not throwing away the pink skin. I'm taking my little finger and trying to take out that skin which earlier used to throw away. So that's really good for eye health. And you could take a supplement of lutein, zeaxanthin and astaxanthin, which are amazing for your eye health. Any eye health supplement that you take, don't take it continuously. Take it for 30 days, then stop for 30 days, then start again for 30 days. My parents are here visiting me, and I give them both lutein and zeaxanthin for their eye health. There are many nutritional supplements out there. Don't self-prescribe a nutritional supplement. Come join a nutritionist. Come in a session like this and ask me, Ryan sir, which brand of lutein and zeaxanthin should we buy. Anyway, next question. How to increase your fiber intake? Well, you can increase your fiber intake. Well, you got to eat more vegetables, right? So today was Sunday. We ordered lunch from out, and I'm a non-vegetarian. I ordered a steak. When they sent very small amount of vegetables, so I was like, hey, there's no fiber in this. Vegetables contain fiber. Fruit contain fiber. The grains, if they are doing it in whole grains, will have some amount of fiber. You can artificially have more fiber by buying something known as psyllium husk or isabkul. But naturally, I love to take papaya, I love to eat pineapple, I love to take apple, I like to take pear. These are negative calorie fruits, which means there's not a lot of weight gain with them. So banana and mango are like the guys which are higher calories. So when people come for weight loss, I try and keep that on once or twice a week. But vegetables, everything from beetroot to carrots to cabbage to cucumber to broccoli, all of these definitely have an ability to boost your fiber. Another question is, which test should a young female, this is somebody who is from North India, asked me, which test a young female should know to know about their fertility rate after 25. So there are various blood tests out there. Those of you who want to know what are the blood tests to do for fertility, please direct message me because I'll ask you a few questions first. But let's take the general blood test. Okay, you would want to know your inflammatory markers are low. ESR and C-reactive protein. You see, when your egg is there and the sperm has to come and fertilize it, there shouldn't be jagada or inflammation in your body. So lower your inflammation. You could lower your inflammation by meditation, by better breathing, exercise, drinking good alkaline water, okay? And you can also be looking at lowering your inflammation with anti-inflammatory fruits like pineapple, omega-3, and adding some turmeric in your diet. But specifically in women, what you want to be looking at is, you want to be looking at your estrogen, your progesterone levels, and prolactin, if high, reduces fertility. Also, I've written a book called Wheatless, which is why people should avoid wheat. And there was this research paper that I read that statistically, women who are gluten intolerant have higher tendencies of miscarriage. So I'm thinking even from a fertility point of view, we don't have studies that go in and say, oh, you know, that the egg and the sperm are meeting up and, you know, it's getting to that level. But these are some of the basic blood tests. You could also do the nutrition vitamin level and the nutrition mineral level. You can also do the heavy metal test. By the way, I had a client who went in for fertility treatment and they decided to do it with Ayurveda. And then after 3-4 months of doing Ayurveda, they suddenly found that her hemoglobin was dropping because she fainted one day. So they did one blood test, hemoglobin dropping. So she started taking iron supplement and all. Then she went for a blood test 30 days later. She's still feeling weak, hemoglobin and dropped further. So a family doctor said, hey, why don't you just do a heavy metal blood test? And when she did it, she had high levels of lead and other heavy metals in her. And that's because the traditional Ayurvedic medicines are sometimes not prepared properly. So whilst you may promote Ayurveda and homeopathy from a fertility point of view, I'm solid in the science of blood test. I love English medicine, I love nutrition, I love nutritional supplements. I also like Ayurveda and homeopathy, but you got to be careful to where you go and who you request all of this. If you have any questions, could you please type up your question? Let me see if your questions are coming in. Yeah, I got a few questions coming in. Let's see what you have. Please answer nutritious foods for ligaments. So ligaments, the best thing is it's a soft tissue which has proteoglycans in it. So when athletes have injuries to their ligaments, cartilage and tendons, these are the soft tissues. My logic is, hey, what are the essential fatty acids? So you definitely want to give omega-3. Omega-3 comes from flaxseed, chia seeds, chia seeds, and what was the third one? Flaxseed, chia seeds, hemp seeds. And from a non-vegetarian source, it is the fish oil that can give you mackerel, salmon, anchovies, sardines. These are the smaller fishes which will give you omega-3. Naturally, you can take a fish oil supplement. If you're vegetarian, you can get a vegan algal supplement. This is the omega-3. From a protein point of view, collagen. Now people ask type 1, type 2, type 3 and all. Look, the body does not absorb collagen. You can eat collagen, you can eat gelatin, you can eat amino acids. Your body will resynthesize the ligament manufacturing structure. So you need good quality omega-3 and you need good quality amino acids. Which are those amino acids? Glycine, arginine, methionine, phenylalanine, proline. My memory is not too good on remembering all the amino acids for the ligaments, but you get the drift, right? So I would do the good nutritious food. Now in the food department, for centuries we have used bone broth soup. So if you're a non-vegetarian, you can do bone broth soup. I do know that brinjal has some small amount of collagen in it, and mushrooms are also beneficial to a small extent. You can look at your doctor giving you a nutritional supplement or contact Ryan Fernando privately, and we will see if he can recommend the product to you offline. The reason I don't give general specific brand advice or product advice on a public forum like Ask Me Anything is, I'll give you an example. I once told a mother to give her child or publicly pineapple, and the child was allergic to pineapple. So the mother was forcing the child to eat pineapple because Ryan Fernando said so. So please do not take advice, please do not take advice from a public forum. Get private advice from your doctor, from your nutritionist directly. Pratima, hi Pratima, you said wanted to know the benefits of amla early morning in an empty stomach. Now amla or Indian gooseberry is one of the most powerful antioxidant compounds of the planet. Now, you know what was my thought process when I paused just now? I want to buy an amla farm. I want to grow amlas and pomegranates, because I believe it's going to be the gold standard. You know, the human body is the most expensive real estate. So if you want to get into the most expensive real estate, you want to feed your body really, really well. So amla, why and why early morning? Amla taken in it, it's kind of alkaline. So it really helps in terms of the acid that has been in the stomach tends to calm you and get you ready in the morning. The antioxidants absorb first thing in the morning. It's like, you know, if you've ever gone driving at 5 a.m. in the morning, there's no traffic, you can press the accelerator a little bit faster because there's nobody on the roads. Amla's like that. Hey, there's no food in my stomach. I can go in and boom, 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 boom. All your antioxidants go in. And there's this amazing research paper on amla. I have it. Those of you who want it, start following me more often. And if I see you following me and I see you asking me questions, I'll send you the paper. And in that paper, they talk about amla reduces LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and VLDL, if I'm not mistaken, by up to 15 to 30 basis points. So move aside statin. Amla is your new cholesterol buster. Besides that, amla is really, really good in terms of rehealing your mucosal pathway in your intestines. Additionally, because of its high antioxidant potential, great on skin and hair. So Pratima, I hope you go out and buy an amla farm. If not, consume 2 amlas a day. And if you don't want to do 2 amlas a day, could you do amla powder? So I buy Organic India amla powder, and I hate the taste of amla. So and then I'm holding it in my mouth, and that's it. Amla powder in early in the morning, and you get started. Okay, so we got many more thoughts. I'm reading this directly. Bhagashir says, I took immunity shots of ginger, raw turmeric and coconut water. I took it for 8 days and later developed severe acne and pimple. Why did that happen? So what I believe is everybody has a bio-individuality. If you were my client, Bhagyashri, I would say this to you. There is a certain threshold by which you take, and I remember in the pandemic, people took a lot of Kadas and these immunity shots. The dosage is actually like 30 milligrams. What we eat in our sambar, what we eat in our rasam, what we eat in our dal, in our khichdi, in our curry, that is significant enough to activate the immune system. Imagine caveman, he didn't go around like, yeah, I got ginger, I'm going to eat ginger. So you're going to get an allergic reaction to any product where you're putting in excess. So basically what I want to say to you is, you need to redesign your amla and you need to go in the direction where maybe with the ginger, turmeric and coconut water, something in the three of that was too aggressive. So this is what I would do. I'd stop. I'd start with coconut water for 5 days. By the way, if you take your skin, if I open my mouth, and the skin on the inside becomes, the skin on the outside turns in and becomes my skin on the inside in my gut. So if you get acne or pimples, it means there's something wrong with your gut inside. Another reason, I apologize for the sound if you can hear children screaming and all. It's a Sunday and everyone's playing in the complex and all that stuff. But speaking of children, there's Srinivas has asked, my daughter is 8 years old and her weight is 36 kgs. Doctor has advised to reduce weight. She does cycling and also did swimming. So Srinivas, first of all, there is a growth chart. And obviously there's a height and the weight. If your daughter's BMI is more than 22, then I would make her do more amount of sport. Now, when we look at diet, when children come to me for pediatric nutrition guidance, especially with sports children, they come to the Core Nutrition clinics, okay? And by the way, we are not influencers, okay? We don't do these internet videos because we want to influence people. We do these internet videos because we are clinical practicing nutritionists. We have 7 clinics in India. I have 75 dietitians on my team. And these are all highly qualified people who are working with me. What we do with pediatric cases is, number one, if the child is okay with taking a blood test, we look for vitamin D, B12 deficiency and thyroid indication. Nowadays, we're getting more thyroid cases, I believe genuinely because the lack of micronutrients in the food chain. So the children are not getting enough of the minerals in the food chain. Many of us drink RO water. So that's also stripping out a lot of the minerals that may be bioavailable in plain water that we drank many years ago. So when you couple this for the children that are eating cleaner, more hygienic, but it's not processed food, you're still maybe buying natural food, but the food chain doesn't have enough of micronutrition, I go for a blood test. Invariably, we find a thyroid issue in a very young age. Also, for example, a lot of children are lactose intolerant and gluten intolerant. So like my son, he's 10 years old and from a very young age of 6 months, we found out he's gluten intolerant. Now, do you know gluten, in the stomach, there are the beautiful microvilli. The microvilli absorb nutrition. So when a child eats too much of gluten, these microvilli are damaged by zonulin in the gluten inside the body, and it breaks down these microvilli. So now all your food, instead of getting caught in these microvilli, bounce off as they go through the intestine. It just bounce off the food. So your child may be getting lesser micronutrition, iron, copper, magnesium, molybdenum, selenium, so many of those minerals that are required for a better functioning thyroid. Also the brain now is saying, hey, I'm not getting enough of micronutrition, I need craving. So maybe your child is craving certain foods and eating extra. So children may be not eating correctly. Children do not know the quantity they need to be fed because parents are feeding them out of, let's say, love and culture, and you need to do it scientific. So I think cycling will definitely help. By the way, there was a research paper that said that people who do swimming in weight loss actually end up eating more than people who do walking. So I never advise my weight loss clients to swim. I advise children to swim for professional competitive sport. But when it comes to weight loss, you're better cycling, walking, hiking, playing a sport. But somehow the research paper concluded that people who swam had a more gregarious appetite. Gregarious means they wanted to eat more. So there are many questions coming in, and Navneet is asking, 4 to 5 days continuously taking lemon water causes weakness in the body. Naveen, I don't know how we will define weakness, but I don't believe that I do know a few bodybuilder friends of mine who are like massive, and they actually drink lemon water because they pump in the gym so much. There's so much of lactic acid that they want a better alkalining in the body. So from that perspective, you know, alkalinization of the body is something that we want. Now, lemon has a property, it contains something known as rutin. So rutin can really help you pump water out of a cell. So it is like a diuretic. So I believe genuinely that sometimes when people take lemon water, they tend to have the diuretic effect, and maybe because you're not replenishing enough of electrolytes. Naveen, I would like to take a bet with you. Check your vitamin D and your vitamin B12s and your ferritin levels. Most likely they are low, and therefore the elements of weakness are not coming from the lemon water but from something else. Final point, I say everyone can be allergic to anything. You could be allergic to lemons also. So when you're taking lemons, the body is giving you an indicator not to do that. So somebody is saying, hi Rayan, I do strength and conditioning training. Do I need to take a protein supplement? I'm a vegetarian. If you're doing strength and conditioning training, okay, and your goal is to bulk muscle, to build muscle, then you definitely want to take 20 grams or to 30 grams of protein post your workout immediately, like within half an hour. So 30 grams of protein is like, for a vegetarian, 30 grams of protein is like about 200 grams of baked beans or 200 grams of dal, right? So that's a copious amount, or about 100 grams of soy nuggets. So it's a little difficult to eat that quantity if you're also at the same time trying to cut down on the fat in your body. So then I advocate doing either a dairy protein or a plant-based protein. Again, this is a difficult question publicly to give advice, because I say that I don't know when I'm giving you advice, will you get like a food allergy to if I give you green pea protein isolate, which is 20 grams scoop. Again, there's no fiber in it, so you could get constipation. So, Mr. RV, just be careful about your strength and conditioning. Do natural diet if you can eat really well. So what I tell people who are looking to bulk up, early morning workout, come back, eat like a demon. Or go in the evening for training and eat as early a dinner as possible. So finish training at 6 o'clock, have your dinner at 6:05. So that would be the best thing that you can do. Itzi has come in, and Itzi's asked, sir, could you please shed some light on the new trend of glutathione being used as a skin lightening and brightening agent? Oh, glutathione. Where do we go with glutathione? I have had the privilege of working with Virat Kohli and Amir Khan and Abhishek Bachchan, and the number one priority is to have flawless skin. How do you have flawless skin? You have flawless skin when you're blessed with great genetics, right? So many people, if you see, they become film stars and all, they already have a good aesthetic skin and they look good, okay? So they get into that field because they when they do modeling and they go for the role plays or whatever, they have like, oh wow, this person looks good, so let's check if they can act. So they're blessed with good genetics. But why are people doing glutathione? The liver contains a key, the liver is like a filtration system. The liver contains a key enzymatic system called the glutathione peroxidase system. Simple English, sewage treatment plant. Glutathione goes like a municipality cleaner and cleans up every crap that you put into your body. Now, if you're blessed with the genetics of having a very powerful gene with the glutathione peroxidase system, thumbs up, it is like your own private army inside of your body which cleans up any crap that you put in, and therefore your skin looks good. Now, research has shown that when you take glutathione as a supplement, it has the ability to go to your melanocytes, which is the brown pigment, and calm it down and not get hyperpigmentation. So some parts of my skin, if you see there's a dark patch here and there, I'm not a film star, don't plan to become one. But you could do a glutathione nutritional supplement. Now there is research that you need to take about 2 to 3 grams of glutathione orally, and for you to take it for about 2 to 3 months. I've had cases, my own personal case, I've tried to become a celebrity of taking glutathione, but I get a lot of mucus production, so it doesn't agree with me. But when I've done a glutathione infusion at a medical clinic, I feel very rejuvenated. The problem with glutathione infusions today are frightfully expensive, starting anywhere from 4 to 40,000 rupees per drip that you take for 45 minutes. But yes, I do know that a lot of film stars are doing glutathione for skin lightening. I'll give you a secret tip. If you want to do skin lightening, contact a good dermatologist. get the advice on your sunscreen, get the advice on any skin lightening cream that you could use, which would contain all the necessary brilliant nutritive molecules in it. Don't eat the cream, but apply those creams. The other thing that you can do is include high antioxidant foods in your diet. Purple cabbage, blueberries, goji berries, and I would definitely do romaine lettuce, butterhead lettuce, beetroot. What was the other one that's very high in glutathione? I'll come back to you. I've forgotten which one has the highest glutathione. Okay. So somebody says, as soon as I wake up, I sneeze a lot. What can I do to reduce it? Maithili, I had this problem all my life. I wrote a book on it called Wheatless. I did not know that I had pimples at the age of 34 damaging my skin. And nobody, no dermatologist, no doctor, no nutritionist could solve the problem. And I used every possible cream. And what was the problem? I did a genetic test and I found that I'm gluten intolerant. Yes, I'm born into a Goan family where we eat bread for breakfast, lunch and dinner. But nobody told my parents or told me avoid wheat because my DNA is sensitive to it. So when you get up in the morning, when I used to get up in the morning, I always had a blocked nose. When I eat gluten by mistake today, my nose, my body, there's a jagada that happens. So my body produces more bulgum, produces more mucus, produces more phlegm. And that goes in the night and clogs my nose up. So it clogs up my nose, right? And so when I get up in the morning, gravity descends down. Now that thing is irritating inside the top of my nose. And then I go, shik, 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 shik. Oh, I have dust allergy. You don't have a dust allergy. You have an allergy to a food. Figure out the food intolerance test. If you want to know the food intolerance test, please do it. You know, people are spending 50, 60, 70,000, 90 lakh. Now some 1.5 lakh rupee phone has come. Hey, you pandus, you're spending so much money on everything around you except your human body. The human body is the most valuable real estate on the planet. What I want you to do, invest in a great blood test, invest in a food intolerant test. If you have a skin problem, if you have a gut problem, if you have a nose problem, and figure out which food is causing that problem. I was at the airport the other day, some medical doctor overheard me speaking. He says, I disagree with you about drinking coffee. Arey, that Pandu doctor, what does he know? You can continue drinking what? Coffee. What does that mean? You can continue drinking coffee when I have acidity. Oh, you want me to take a Pantoc D and then continue to drink coffee? What stupidity are we living in? Where you take a pill to help a condition where the pill is not found in the human body. It is donkey sense. You drink coffee and you get acidity, there's a problem. If somebody comes to your house and starts slapping you every day, no. You hire one security person, you keep that security person in your house, let that person keep slapping you. That's the function of medicine. Find out in your foods what's slapping you and what's not slapping you. I'm sorry guys, I get really emotional because when people say to me that food is not the cause of the problem, food can heal you and food can slap you. Okay, let's get some more questions. How to eat flax seeds for better nutrients? Should we soak it or roast it? Vinayak, don't soak it, roast it. And this is what you need to do. Light roast it for 30 seconds, heat it up. Put it into coffee grinder, blend it, break up, crush up the protective seed coating. Never make powder of flaxseed for more than 2 days or 3 days because it will oxidize, and the good omega-3 fats that are inside the shell of the flaxseed are now ruptured with the grinding. The light roasting basically removes the moisture so that you can explode the shell very, very easily. So I would definitely do roasting over soaking. Hi Ryan, both by Sabine, Mrs. Ganguly, both my kids have got enrolled into Core Nutrition. My daughter is 8 years of age and she's very prone to cold and cough. I tried almost everything. Please suggest something that would help. Hey, Mrs. Ganguly, if you enroll your kids in, I'm sure you have the best nutritionist on the planet with you from Core Nutrition. Take his or her advice over there. I'm not going to counter my colleague, but I could tell you this. Please do the nutrition gene test. And for my kid, I did the fitness gene test and the personality gene test, right? So in the fitness gene test for my son, he had colds all the time. And it was a conscious decision after the age of 3 to stop feeding him milk, right? You have this thing that culturally you should feed kid, but I'll tell you something, parents, if you get smart enough and you can go against your grandparents and your parents' ancient wisdom, which is not currently scientific updated. I know my mom and me were talking, and she said, "Yeah, but you drank milk all your life." I'm like, "Yeah, I drank all the milk in my life, and I had gluten on my life, and that's how my skin looks like shit right now." And so there were a lot of animated discussions, right? But the point of the matter that I'm telling is that if you do the genetic test, you figure out what could be on the back foot for your kid. I suspect a weakened immune system. I could be wrong. If you do a blood test, selenium, vitamin C, and vitamin D might be low. So your key drivers for your immune system are vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, and selenium. Okay? And if these guys are low, your lymphocytes production are going to be low. So protection is low. Also, certain children have lesser hygiene in terms of washing their hands or touching their nose more often. So you want to be looking at personal hygiene very close for children that get a lot of coughs and colds. Okay, Vishal is saying my daughter plays tennis from 6 years and her age is 14. She suffers from shin pain. So shin pain is this part. This is called the shin, the front of the bit between the knee and the foot. Okay, I'm no medical doctor, but we get a lot of people with shin pains. Obviously, when children are young, the bone is growing, but the muscle is still not yet growing as fast as the bone. So imagine my finger is the bone, okay? And this tissue paper here is the muscle around it, okay? The tissue paper is the muscle around it. Now suddenly my bone wants to grow. My bone is growing. Hey, but this muscle also needs to grow along with it, but it's growing a little bit slow. So what this muscle does is it pulls the bone. So there's a lot of stressor load on the bone, which causes microscopic trauma to the bone, which is actually then making the bone stronger. But because your kid is playing sports all the time, there's an impact on that shin bone growing, and children tend to have shin splint pains and stuff like that. 2-3 things. Number one is improve the magnesium in the diet, improve the protein in the diet, improve the vitamin D in the diet. Go alkaline because of a lot of lactic acid, so that the muscles begin to relax. You take out the lactic acid, which causes a lot of DOMS, delayed onset of muscle soreness. Make your kid do yoga. Yoga will stretch out the muscles so that the load on the bones reduces. I hope this helps you out, Vishal. So this is a small tip. Hi Vishwanath, you've moved into Australia recently. It's winter here. Yeah, great. My family, including my kid, is falling sick very often by getting cough, cold. Winter time, Vishwanath, is when, and Vishwanath, I'm assuming you're vegetarian. So let's do a blood test. And I know in Australia you can't get a blood test very easily. It's very, very expensive. So I'm going to assume, like all Indians, about 80% of all Indians have vitamin D deficiency. So number one, for the adults, try and get 2000 IU of vitamin D a day. And for your children, try and get 1000 IU of vitamin D every day. In addition to this, look at citrus fruits, guava, or look at oranges for giving copious amounts of micronutrients to you every day. I'm assuming you're South Indian. The pepper rasam is a great immune booster. The combination of pepper and turmeric is known to inhibit the cold virus from multiplying. Number 3, why don't you also give salt water, warm water gargle every day in the evening for your kids to do, to clear out any bacteria or anything. What I used to do for my son, the moment he came back from school, I'd give him warm water and a teaspoon of salt in that and ask him to do gargle nicely. So if anything is lurking there when coming back from school, they've kind of put it through a washer cycle and rinsed it out and they spit it out. You can also look at boosting zinc in your diet. So sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, every now and then given to the kids. I have seen that cocoa powder is very powerful as an antioxidant. So I give my kid hot cocoa milk. He's allergic to milk, so I make it with coconut milk or almond milk. So I give him hot cocoa powder in the night. So I hope this really, really helps you. Hey Vishwanath, if you love that answer, and other parents, if you've loved that answer, give us a thumbs up, give me a comment saying thank you, or whatever it is that, that can get this post up there and going out viral. Okay, I've answered this on virality of stuffy nose. Are there any more questions? Glutathione. Yes. Falcon, hey Ryan, I have hypothyroidism from 14 years. I'm a 30-year-old female. How can I get off medication? Okay, so this is a dangerous question. You can't get off medication if for 14 years you've been on medication. Your thyroid has gone to sleep. What I recommend is do the food intolerance test. I'm first looking for lactose and gluten intolerance. Why? Because when you have an intolerance to a food, that food is going and slapping the intestine inside of your intestine and not allowing the careful micronutrient absorption of food. So take out the troublemakers in your diet. Once you take out the troublemakers, the second level is to do a complete vitamin and mineral profile. Did you know that vitamin B complex, magnesium, selenium, chromium, B9, B6, amino acids, certain amino acids, all of these are required for thyroid stimulating hormone. So when some of these are deficient because of your diet, your thyroid is going to get sluggish. So you do the blood test and then make sure that these micronutrients are prescribed by a nutritionist to you. The third level is to go through infusions. I'm predicting that ferritin and iron might be low in you, so get that up over there. Most Indians, 60% of Indians have low iron reserves. Fourth thing, shift from RO water to natural alkaline well water, spring water, stuff that has got the real minerals in it. And the final point, if you're using fluoride-based toothpaste or water that has fluoride in its content, stop drinking the tap water, stop using toothpaste that contain fluoride in it. Also, look at iodine in your blood. Many people have iodine deficiency, and they don't know this. There used to be an ancient old test when I was studying at Goa Medical College. You just take iodine, tincture of iodine, and you put it on your skin. Now it forms that purple thing, right? When you get injured, you used to put that in. Now the tincture of iodine remains for more than 7 days. Your skin is not pulling in the iodine, you have enough of iodine. But if it disappears in 1 or 2 days, you have lack of iodine. Modern day methodologies to do a blood test. I believe a combination of all of this will lead you on a path to figure out that the thyroid is deficient. By the way, there are gene receptors for a thyroid that doesn't function well. And you could do a genetic test. Now, if you have a genetic predisposition to hypothyroidism, you can manage the condition better with bioidentical hormones. You can manage the condition better with making sure that you tick mark all of the allergens, food intolerances, and micronutrient deficiencies are not there. Mehul, sorry, I know you told me to keep each answer down to 2 minutes, but I'm trying my best over here. Some of these are like my nutrition counseling. So Anamika is asking, I do have craving of chocolate truffle after my periods and sometimes normally also, and I have that big amount. What do I do? Okay, Anamika, I don't want you to do sugar-based chocolate. What I want you to do, I want you to go out and find the best 70 to 90% pure cocoa powder, cacao nibs, or dark chocolate. Make a brownie with that. Chocolate has got the highest antioxidants that actually helps women during the menstruation cycle. It actually helps. Did you know why you have sugar cravings? Very, very interesting. You know, research has shown that when women need more nutrients, evolution, let's say we lived 1,000 years ago, evolution says, hey, you need more minerals. What had minerals? Fruits, sweet. So you'd go hunting for berries and fruits that were sweet. And when you found them, you ate copious amounts of them for your fertility during your menstruation cycle. Now in modern day and time, we have cakes and pastries and we have stuff that is so sinful, it's like, you know, why even try not sinning? But at the end of the day, it's like, you know what, even I'm after this, I'm going to look, my brain drains out, so I'm going to have an almond brownie, which is devoid of gluten, and I'm going to have a piece of it. It's just like, whoa. So I would say go more with the dark chocolate, and all women out there, the more chocolate you have, the better it is for your health, unless you're allergic to chocolate. Then be careful. How would you know you're allergic to chocolate? Ask for the food intolerance test. By the way, if anyone wants the links, you could go to my bio. Go to my bio and click on the link tree saying Nutrition Secrets. I've got the list of blood tests that you can order, the list of nutritional supplements where you get a discount coupon code. Everything is over there. So I'm making it much easier for everyone to figure out how we can do this. Okay, I think that's all the questions that we have had today. Somebody's asked from You Are Beautiful, how to reduce menopause weight. I was just asked this morning by a person who was training me, and basically he's working with his wife to lose weight. Now, the first thing is that you need to understand, do a body composition analysis if you're above 40 years of age as a female. Body composition means you find your muscle, you find your fat weight. Once you know your fat weight, I would like you to start walking first. Walking, research has shown, to reduce fat, you need to cross to 12,000 to 13,000 steps, which is 2 hours of walking a day. Yes, mothers, I know you don't have time. If you don't have time, you will remain with that body fat percentage weight, and don't look at weight, because then you're losing muscle, you're losing water, you're losing glycogen. You want to lose fat. How can you lose fat? You can lose fat with walking. From a food department, go with portion control, go higher protein. You can do intermittent fasting. You can eat a higher amount of protein post your walk. And all the women, I would want you to start weight training minimum 2 times a week with heavy weights, not light weights. Get a qualified trainer. Start slow and steady in the first year where you lift light weights. Get your form correct. But from the age of 40 onwards, till the dying breath on this planet, which could be at 100 years of age, you will weight lift, you will weight train, you will take resistant band, because muscle is the organ that takes the lathi and beats fat out of your body. It is not the exercise, it is the muscle. When you get older, because of estrogen dropping, you will get more fat, because fat is a sister of estrogen. So body saying, "Arey yaar, estrogen, menopause, tata, bye-bye." So body says, no, I'll produce more fat, because fat can produce phytoestrogen. So this is a catch-22 situation for women. You will grow fatter if you do not weight train. You will grow fatter if you do not walk. You will grow fat because you are not looking at your blood test for your micronutrients, your multivitamins, your multiminerals. When you find out you have nutritional deficiencies, you will begin to take the right amounts of minerals and vitamins. You don't need a multivitamin. You need your food to be constructed correctly. And if you begin to eat correctly, like thousands of women who have come to Core Nutrition, you will begin to glow in the first 3 months. You will not get weight loss. You will get glowing skin. In the next 6 months, you will begin to get toned. And from the 6th month onwards, after following an exercise protocol and diet protocol, then is when you will begin to lose weight. We do have the menopausal program in Core Nutrition. Get in touch with us at the Core Nutrition, and you can get a huge amount of benefit. Okay, if there are any more questions coming in, please ask me your questions. Please grab a glass of water now as you're speaking to me. I want everyone to have 1 glass of water as we talk right now, or a cup of nimbu pani if you can have it. Alkaline water. I use alkaline mineral water. If you've done a glass of water, please give me a thumbs up right now. Give me a heart sign. Let's see how many heart signs come in from this session. That's nice and cold. People ask me, Ryan, should I have cold water? I get sore throat and all. Parents, if you have children, begin to give them cold water from a young age if they're going to become athletes. My son drinks ice cold water, because as a baby I would put water and I put ice in it and give it to him, and it's like, I had to give it. Strengthen your kids to become strong. And if there are nutritional deficiencies, do the genetic test. If there are issues further, do a blood test, do a poop analysis. Get your kids' poop, analyze the microbiome. You'll get a lot of insights into all of these. I had another question coming in on my phone. Sir, I have grade liver 2 fatty disease. Huge amount of fatty liver problems. The answer is in the question itself. Fatty liver? Fatty liver? Why are you fat? Think about it. I recently went to a college function and I was giving a lecture, and I'm a person who observes people. I was observing the students in the college. I was counting randomly 14, 15 people in the front row. 7 or 8 people of the 14 people were fat. The generations nowadays are eating too much of processed foods. They're eating out more often because parents are giving the children money. The restaurants are tempting you. The e-commerce shops are allowing you to do it. We are working in we are working in offices. I do genuinely know that I have family members who eat out almost every day. Why don't you carry a tiffin box? No, it's too much of hassle. It's just more convenient. Do you know that they use palm oil? Do you know that they use palm oil? Do you know that they use palm oil? No, my signal did not break. I said it 3 times. They use palm oil. In the pandemic, palm oil import duty was dropped because we could not keep pace with the necessary oils to be produced with the natural seeds and vegetables that are there in our country. Palm oil, palmitic acid, inflammatory oil. Inflammation goes up. Where is it filtered? Liver. Liver is the sewage treatment plant of the body. You put too much of bad fuel into your body, your liver is going to store the bad fuel. So grade 1 fatty liver, grade 2 fatty liver is a condition of the nutritional indiscipline that exists between your tongue and your stomach, that exists between your mind and discipline to not appreciating that you are the most expensive. I always say this in all my speeches. Are you a tenant in your body or are you a landlord in your body? If you're a landlord in your body, you be like me. The other day I had a friend come over, he's like, dude, you spend $25 per egg? I'm like, dude, you spend $25 on a cigarette. He's a tenant in his body, I'm a landlord in my body. You gotta spend the best amount for the nutrition going to your body. So outside food is an absolute no-no. I look upon people with very funny eyes when they say, let's go out and eat. I'd like to go out with you. I'd like to enjoy your company. I'd rather watch a movie with you. But I wouldn't want to eat outside with you because that guy producing the food in the restaurant is making it with the least possible money for the highest profitable margin, and the nutritive index is under. Hey Shri, nice to see you in my life. Alright, if you have any other questions. Maithili, after you're reading my book, you've gone wheatless. Hey, first of all, thank you for buying my book, Wheatless. It's a book I wrote with all my years of clinical practice at the Qua Nutrition Clinics. I've worked with some of the best celebrities in the world, everybody from Virat Kohli to Amir Khan to Shikhar Dhawan. Last I did Fardeen Khan's transformation. He's an actor from Bollywood. Recently with Shahid Kapoor, a gem of a guy. And I'm working with Kenneth Bednarik. He just ran 19.96 in the 200 meter. He came in 5th. We're still looking to get that Olympic gold medal. Okay, so he's going to be one of my key athletes. I had an athletic question asked is, sir, what are the micronutrients? What are the microminerals? To all the athletes out there, I'm part of the Indian Olympic Association doping committee. So I tend not to give public advice on supplements. Because I may tell you, hey, you need to buy isotonic sports drink. Hey, you need to take a protein powder. Hey, you need to take an essential amino acid. Hey, you need to take a branched amino acid. But you may go out and buy a spurious product which is sold by a counterfeiting company on Amazon and you could test positive. So I would say that, hey, you know what? Don't self-prescribe. Get a good sports nutritionist working with you. I got Manuel saying that I consume protein powder at 18 years of age. First focus on diet. If your diet is perfect, then move to protein powder. And please check if you have any food allergies or anything like that before you get into protein powder. Hey, I've got the last 9 minutes left. Would anyone like to ask any more questions? Oh, I got another question from Vaibhav. I don't have that much of time to make beetroot juice and drink it. Should I use beetroot extract and is it okay to have on an empty stomach? Number one, yes, Vaibhav, you can do the beetroot extract. It's a convenient way. The nitrates are preserved even in dehydrated condition. Is it okay to have on an empty stomach? So basically this is the thing. Research has shown that beetroot extract nitrates peak at 3 hours after consumption. So rather than saying, is it okay to have it on an empty stomach, you should ask yourself, when am I going to be working out? And is my workout coming 2 to 3 hours later? And that would be the best time. So I'm assuming you do a morning workout and you have it early morning. It varies from person to person. If I have beetroot in the morning, I feel very nauseous, but I have a whole lot of athletes who have beetroot juice first thing in the morning. They're absolutely fine with it. So it's a thing of convenience. Okay, Stady is asking, 12-year-old girl, competitive swimming, does she require nutritionist proper guide or घर का खाना is enough along with supplements? देखो मैम, हम इंडिया में छोटा बच्चे को प्रोफेशनल ट्रेनिंग में करता है, कॉम्पिटिटिव ट्रेनिंग में रखता है. अभी सोच लीजिए, हम बेस्ट ऑफ इक्विपमेंट खरीदता है, हम बेस्ट ऑफ खाना खरीदता है, हम बेस्ट ऑफ कोचिंग खरीदता है. वी डू ऑल ऑफ दिस थिंग. बाद में लोग बोलते हैं भाई दाल चावल रोटी तो हम लोग ऐसे बनाए. ऐसा करेगा तो ये लॉजिक सेम तो कोचिंग के ऊपर. कोच क्यों चाहिए? एक यूट्यूब वीडियो डाउनलोड करो ना. स्विमिंग पूल 50 मीटर्स में क्यों जाने का? अरे यार ये अल्सुर लेक है ना मेरे पास, उसके अंदर जस्ट जंप इनसाइड एंड स्विम ओवर देयर. नहीं तो बाथरूम के अंदर स्विम कर सकते हैं ना. स्ट्रोक करेगा बाद में जाएगा. व्हेन यू गेट इनटू कॉम्पिटिटिव स्पोर्ट, if you're poor and you don't have a mobile phone, do घर का खाना, don't require nutritionist. But if you're going for tuitions, you're going to a good school, you're driving a car where you put petrol, not diesel, petrol is more expensive than diesel. And after doing all of this, you have an iPhone or a OnePlus on your table, then you have an iPad, then you're traveling to go off a vacation by flight, not by bus. Then you want to do no nutritionist? Let's spend on a nutritionist to get the best possible scientific guidance for the child. So that at the age of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, when nutrition has to enter the body and has to go for growth and performance, your ghar ka khana advice is not lacking, and the nutritionist is doing a blood test, genetic test, and figuring out the psychology with your kid, because your kid will listen to the nutritionist. Today's kids don't listen to their parents. Is it necessary, Rutika is asking, is it necessary to stop wheat completely? Hey, where did that question go? Iceman, I need your help on this. Next time we need to have a separate screen where I can see all of the questions. Okay, I missed that question. Best Source Nutrition has joined in, and I do endorse a few of their products, and they are saying that what is the difference between food gene testing and food intolerance testing? Very simple. Food intolerance testing is a blood test. The food gene test tests for the genetic response from your food. So for example, there's a gene for lactose sensitivity and there's a gene for gluten sensitivity. And parallelly, if you do a food intolerance test, I did it for a kid, and the genetics came up thumbs up and the blood test came thumbs down. So at that point in the kid's life, the genetic of gluten and lactose was not yet affecting the kid, but probably in a later stage in life could start to affect the kid. So my logic as a nutritionist is, hey, you know what? I don't think I want to risk this kid losing out on timings in his professional sport. So we voluntarily chose to eliminate gluten and lactose. Dipi is saying that my sinuses are choco-block and mucus formation is high, and hey, this thing keeps jumping up and down. Yeah, I'm reading the question and then it jumps away. I'm sorry guys, I'm okay with technology, but I just can't do question and answers live and then do this scrolling. And hey, I saw this question. Why are you so expensive? Not affordable to common people. Because the human body is the most expensive and there are very few of us very good nutritionists. Right? So if I had to be available to the common man, I just have 24 hours in a day. So it's the law of averages. It's as simple as that. What are, by the way, the nutrition plan at the Qua Nutrition clinics with my colleagues is 16,500 for a 3-month plan. Okay? And I'm going to call this out to people out there who say that nutritionists are expensive. I took a massage yesterday, and the massage cost me 3,000 rupees for somebody pressing my body. 3,000 rupees to press my body. In a 3-month plan, you will meet your nutritionist 4 times, 4 1-hour meetings. You will have 12 calls with this person. You will get 3 diet plans in that period, and you will get the bespoke customized nutrition plan for that. It's the same way when you decide to build your own house with a contractor, and it's the same way when you decide to involve an architect, and it's the same way when you decide to involve a world famous architect. Cadbury's is expensive to a laborer. Cadbury's is not expensive to you because you can afford it. The affordability is the touch point here, not the person being expensive. It is your affordability. Find a way to figure out what phone you're owning, what technology you're spending your money on, and then ask yourself, is your body the most expensive thing? Right? So I'm sitting here with an iPad which cost $1.5 lakh. I could drop it down right now and it'll be useless. So when you choose to buy something expensive, what is your priority? Is it technology? Is it the house that you live in? Is it this beautiful orchid here? I love orchids, send me orchids, okay? Anyone? All these hearts and all are not very nice, but please give me some hearts right now. I wish orchids were there. So I love orchids. This orchid over here is beautiful. I go and buy orchids. Now people say, "Arey, you are so expensive, orchids." Your body is the most expensive real estate. Stop asking me why I'm so expensive. Is saffron water early morning safe and healthy? Switch to saffron in the night. There's a research paper on chamomile and saffron. I got 4 minutes left. I'm going to take a few more questions. So research has shown that saffron with chamomile boosts immunity. So you have kesar. It's amazing for children. Nighttime is better. Deeper sleep, better on the gut. Sir, which is one is better? Nimbu pani or nimbu soda? Good question. Pre-workout, nimbu pani. Post-workout, nimbu soda. Okay, why? This is probably why I work with some of the best athletes in the world. Nimbu pani on its own will be alkaline, but nimbu pani with soda, the carbonic acid will help in your lactic acid dropping down further. There's a lot of relationship. It will take me 2 hours to explain the whole thing. Hey, I live in Abu Dhabi. And here it's terribly hot now, like 50 degrees. So whenever you're going out and getting a bad headache, please suggest something. Again, nimbu pani with pink salt in it, or get an isotonic drink. If you're not fat, then you can take an isotonic drink with glucose and fructose and electrolytes in it. But if you're on the heavier side, get a electrolyte tablet, which is just plain salts, and mix it in cold soda water or normal water. You may be getting headaches because of dehydration, because the blood becomes thicker, and because the blood becomes thicker, it has to pump through your brain. So I would suggest that you hydrate well in hot climates. We have the same headaches that happen in the athletes. Okay, I've answered a lot of the questions. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. Thank you all for checking in. Do you want me to come back next Sunday? Because my team wants me to come back every Sunday, and I'm like, hey guys, it's Sunday. I wanna enjoy, and I wanna chill back and chill out, enjoy my orchids, enjoy my garden. So should I come back next Sunday? Could you give me a yes, or could you give me a heart right now? Or could you give me a wave? Or what does a wave do? Even I want to wave back. Varun, I want to wave back to you. Hey, okay, I wave back to you. Hello, hello, yes, hello. Okay, so if you want me to come back next, Sunday, then watch my Instagram videos of the week. I think my team, Iceman, who's my new guy on board, he's basically putting out reels there and asking you to kind of ask your questions, and that comes across to me. So please ask me your questions, and I can see a lot of hearts and waves and everything that you want me to come back next week. It's a chance to get expensive Ryan Fernando free of cost on Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. It's 5:59. Your time is up. I'm going to be saying bye-bye to everyone, and thank you for joining in. Hey Shri, you're a great mind coach. Prasad, I train with the best karate sensei in India. He's the national coach. He trains me privately, and he squeezed me out today, which is why I'm like, I want to sleep. I don't want to come back on a 5 o'clock thing. Hey, where do we get good saffron? Kashmir. Ask my client Omar Abdullah. They make the best saffron in the world over there. Okay. Hey, those of you who want to do an internship with me, those of you who want to intern at the Qua Nutrition Clinics, go to quanutrition.com. We have join us or work at Qua Nutrition at the bottom of the page. Quick advice to all the children out there, all the smart students out there. Please learn to do a little bit of hard work when you want a job. Don't expect everything to land in your place. All right, everyone. God bless you. Please ask your questions next week, and I'll see you in next week. God bless. Good night, and have a great Sunday. By the way, eating a cheat meal on Sunday actually reduces your deep sleep. And when your deep sleep reduces, your stem cell production drops. So if you want beautiful skin, if you want beautiful muscle recovery, doing a cheat meal on Saturday and Sunday is not actually the right thing. God bless. Goodbye.